Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to the channel. So we are back at the house. It's been a minute since we've been here, and it's been especially longer since we've even messed with the Integra. Actually, to be exact, it's been about 5 months since I went back to naturally aspirated. I've driven the car probably twice since then, other than letting it idle here and there in the driveway. So that's kind of, as you can see, what happened is the battery, it's actually, the battery dated to 2018, so it's a few years old now, but yeah, you can see we had to jump it. Battery's all dead, so I got it idling right now to try and charge up a little bit. But one of the issues I'm having with it right now, I don't know if you can hear it, but it's idling a little bit higher than it should be right now. And it's not because it's a cold start, because this thing was tuned on like open loop, so it should be running a pretty consistent, roughly 1,000 to 900 RPM right now. And yeah, it's a little on the high side. Let me explain why. So it's toned down very slightly, but essentially, long story short, after I went turbo, because on these K-series engines, the way I understood it is when you boost it, you want to block off the PCV valve because you can put, positive pressure into the crankcase. You don't want to do that. So what I did was I blocked it off. But my factory hose that went from the PCV to the intake, that little L-shaped hose, was cracked and broken. So I didn't have one to put on in its place. So I went to the parts store, used some regular hose, but the issue is it's pinched. So with it being pinched, it's causing like a vacuum issue. So it's idling higher than it should be. So when I unpinch it, it settles down a little bit and the AFRs go more normal. And the reason I can tell something is up is because on deceleration, your AFR gauge is supposed to go, ... Mine just runs always. So like it's not shutting the injectors off because there's a vacuum leak, essentially, is the way I'm understanding it. So I do have a new PCV valve and I do have a new OEM hose to go in it. But that's only one of the few things we're doing today. The other thing is this car, I've had it for almost 9 years now. And one of the things I've always wanted to do, but never bothered with, was this old tint. Now you can see in here, barely, and that's the issue. I eventually, want to re-tint it, but you gotta get the old tint off. Like you can see just how bubbled and gross it is. I mean, it's kind of hard to pick up on the camera, but yeah, so my fiance, she wants to start tracking this thing, and one of the issues is you cannot see out of the back of this to save your life. So that's what we're doing today. I'm going to be changing the hose and the PCV valve, and we're going to be trying to get the tint off of this thing and clean it up a little bit and get this thing ready for her to be tracking. Don't get me wrong, there's still some more stuff that this car needs. Obviously, if you guys look over here, I've still got this stack of tires sitting on the porch that I've had for months laying around. I just haven't wanted to put effort or money into the car. I don't know, a few guys I talked to at the Dragon about it, and a lot of you guys are OG watches the channel simply for the Integra. And I've tossed the idea back and forth of selling it for, a while now, but obviously I'm never gonna get what I think it's worth. So in the meantime, she's gonna start tracking it, because why not? I mean, she's trying to sell her Civic, get into a more practical vehicle for the two of us, essentially like a truck type SUV thing. So she won't have a fun car, and this thing's already more or less ready to go to the track. You just need some fresh pads and change the oil and these little things. So let's have some fun today. Let's kind of just get into it. And I'm gonna put my strut bar on too now that I don't have the turbo in the way, because I know most people at this point probably won't remember, but I did make this strut bar a good long time ago, and it works perfectly fine, and it looks nice too. I just couldn't run it with the turbo because it interfered with the charge piping that I had. And yeah, been a while since you guys have been at the house. So the spoiler still here, actually just talking about re-clearing it because the clear is pretty beat up on it. So I'm gonna order some clear coat and we'll spray it. This is the thermal muffler. I do plan on putting that back on. I just had to modify the exhaust for the turbo setup, so this has to be modified to go back on, so I will be fixing that here very soon. Yeah, I mean, the rest of this is just like S2000 and BMW stuff in here. But yeah, I don't know. Pretty cool though. I know you guys will enjoy the Integra video, I'm hoping. Yeah, see, look at that. Looks pretty darn cool. I was offering these for a little bit of time, but the issue I was having is I couldn't get a consistent fitment on these shock tower plates. And I still have a whole bunch of these shock tower plates actually in the shed back there that I just never got to use, because for whatever reason, like, even this one is a tight fit after I built it to my car. You kind of got to shimmy it on there. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe somewhere along in the future I might make another batch and see what happens. Maybe make them adjustable. Alright, so here is what I'm talking about. This isn't even the one that I had on there before. The one I had before was a bit shorter, but still kinked. So you can see the kink there, and it's problematic. So here's the OEM part number for the actual one, the L-shaped one, and here's a new PCV valve. So go ahead, slap this on, just the 2 clamps, and then I believe it's a 17mm socket. It's pretty easy. Don't have my tripod today because it is at the shop, because I didn't really plan on doing nothing today, but had some spare time. So here we go. This is the new one. Looks much better, and actually this one's not even totally bad. This one's definitely, obviously, you know, in better shape. So normally, you know, use a new crush washer, but this one hardly looks touched, so we're just gonna, you know, send it. Probably better to use a wrench on this because you can get a little bit more in there, but just snug. Bear with me, but yeah, this is all you need. But that pre-molded hose, that's the good one. So yeah, put that on there. Perfect. I just feel like a caveman going back from, you know, using all my power tools and having my nice toolbox at the shop to being here at the house where I'm kind of just scavenging and scrounging for tools. But, you know, it gets the job done, I suppose. There we go. You can see I had to give it a little nudge to get it on. So I think the main difference is that if I would have these holes slotted a decent amount, the only issue is that there's just not a lot of meat left to slot it before it's, you know, actually contacting or like intruding in the middle circle piece. So I don't know, future thing, future endeavor maybe, but yeah, looking pretty cool though.
It's so gross. Like, I can't even see through that.
Yeah. Yeah, this is definitely a much needed task on this car for sure. I've been honestly putting this thing off since I bought it almost a decade ago. So it's pretty crusty. But I got everything else pretty much, you know, I guess for now, taken care of. So there's a few other things I wanted to do. So one of the things I wanted to do is I wanted to make a new intake. I wanted to make a titanium one now that I have the ability to. More so just because I can, and I want to have more to show off if, you know, if and when I take this thing to the meets, to the track and stuff. Dude, it is just so freaking bright out here. The camera doesn't know what to do. I am so tired of Arizona after being on the East Coast, so good Lord. Anyway, moving on. Upper radiator hose setup. So the lower one seems okay. You know, it's not the prettiest, but, you know, it's manageable. But I want to change this upper setup. So the hose setup now works just fine. A little dated, it looks a little ugly to me, so what I want to do is you can buy much nicer weld-on filler necks, and now that I have the ability to, because back then when the swap was done, I didn't know how to weld. Well, I barely knew how to do MIG weld, let alone, you know, TIGging. So now I want to change this. I want to weld on some aluminum pipe and basically just do a 90 here, so I can just run some straight hose right here. maybe even change it up and like give myself a little bit more space or something like that. But I would do -20 lines and fittings, but the fittings themselves are massive. So like the, you know, it'd be probably here, probably there, and then the fittings themselves, you know, there's just no room for the actual hose. So it'd be senseless to do a -20 AN set up on here. So in the meantime, I think I would like to do some aluminum, because this piece, you know, just comes off a couple hoses. So nothing crazy. Probably, you know, could use a coolant flush anyway. So that's on my list of things to do. Other than that, I mean, I want to put a little filter on that, but the engine bay is kind of chilling. I do need to finally make use of this reservoir. I mounted it, I just never actually plumbed it. I forget why. I don't remember why I actually never set it up yet. I don't know, I'll have to think about that one and figure out when to do it. But yeah, I mean, not a whole lot really going on today. I just kind of felt like making a vlog with the little bit that we are doing to the Integra, just since this thing hasn't seen any, you know, any attention in quite a long time. Getting there. It's a very, very, you know, time-consuming process. Not so much difficult. You're just using heat and a whole buttload of razors, but yeah, it's gonna look way better. We're gonna do the side windows as well, because the front two don't have it, but the quarter ones do. So I think the fishbowl look, especially when the car is washed, it's gonna make it look pretty darn clean. Well, you know, for what it is, being a Nugget, of course, but cleanish. It's so clear now. Yeah, the fishbowl looks way better than that 30-year-old tint. Like, crazy. Definitely gotta do the sides. We ran out of razor blades though. We didn't anticipate just how many this is gonna use. Because this whole midsection up on the top here took quite a bit of time. But yeah, so probably another day we'll do the side windows. That one looks like it's going to be worse because that looks purple. The one over here is like hardly even tinted. It's hard to even tell if it is, but the one over there just has a very slight bronzish tint to it as compared to this one having the faded purple. So only thing I can think of is maybe this one saw more sunlight throughout the car's life. But yeah, no, the rear hatch looks fantastic now. So that's more or less kind of all we have for the car for the day. Like I said, a bunch of little stuff. So we're gonna go out. I have to take it for a drive to see if the PCV valve and the new hose kind of fix my little issue. Because it's hard to tell at idle. The idle still seems a little bit high to me. Granted, maybe it needs a retune since I went through and, you know, deturboed it. I threw the old base map on, or the old tune on for the, you know, that I had before the turbo, but I don't know. We'll take it for a quick little drive around the block and see what happens, and we'll take you guys with. Unfortunately, the PCV did not fix it, so I don't know what it is at this point. It might be tune related, or it could be something else, I don't know. But I don't know, it drives like it did before. Only issue is, like, right now I'm off throttle and my AFR gauge should be like a ... but right now it's acting like a vacuum leak or something gnarly. Throttle is hanging and it feels like the throttle is partly stuck open, so we're not decelerating or engine braking, we're just, you know, we're just there, which is not how it's supposed to be. So kind of annoyed, a little bit discouraged, but hopefully it's an easy fix. I just got to try and figure it out. But this is part of the reason why I don't mess with this car anymore. It's like little things like that just make me not even want to touch it. Whereas, you know, the S2000, the E36, you know, the Miata, all those cars to me are just a lot more fun to actually mess around with and diagnose if I have to, but not so much this one. Because it's like this one has just worked for so long that now when it doesn't, I'm just like, screw it. I don't care, but I don't know, we'll figure it out. Otherwise, yeah, once we get tires in alignment, the rest of the car is solid, you know. A little loud right now with the straight pipe on there, but easy enough fix. So really the only thing we got to figure out is just this stinking idle hang or whatever the issue is, but yeah. Good morning, guys. This is just a continuation into this video, just a little bit with the Integra stuff, just because I didn't have enough filler content with the Integra, and the video just felt kind of bland and short at that point. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys what I got going on here at the shop right now. I haven't filmed here in a couple of weeks like a normal video at the shop. I've been trying to, you know, just get ahead on the work that I've had, because last month was very, very slow, so it was a little scary. And then I got slammed with 2 big jobs right after I got back from the Dragon last week, and this is one of them. And I've been doing my best to get this thing done, because it is a bit of a time constrained job, but it's also just a lot of work. So let me show you that, because it's pretty cool and I'm really proud of it. So this one belongs to my buddy Marco at Unrivaled Performance in Tucson, Arizona. This is their shop car. I also got a G37 or something like that coming right now for me to install some test pipes. This thing I did, I modified the exhaust fit that he had brought me. I'm waiting on him to bring me a battery so I can finish making a new battery tray, and then I also made a really nice wastegate dump and merge. I'll just, whatever, you can see that on Instagram. That one's not so much important. This one was really cool and I'm really proud of it, but this is, you know, where all the cheese is. So this one, you know, made the big old bumper bar. Yesterday I just finished up all the stainless work, so this would be exhaust, this would be dump, and this thing's a massive 60mm gate. So I think that's oh shoot, I don't know what I was trying to say, but basically, you know, this car's hopefully gonna be making around 1,000. But yeah, so this is the, you know, 8-to-1 manifold that he already had, and then I built this guy up here that brings it down and over, and then the turbo is obviously up top there, and then, you know, I brought the wastegate merge out over here, and then it's all gusseted. You can see the stainless gusset there, stainless gusset up there. Yeah, and then got the O2 bung tucked up there, you know, got the plate here to support it. I'm going to add one more up here. Normally I really don't want to go to the chassis, but I'm going to try out a new little thing, and if it breaks, it breaks. We come back, we fix it, but just experimenting. But, you know, then we got the fat pie cuts up there looking really, really nice. Like, I'm very proud of the work that I've done on this car so far. My stainless tube work here has been better than anything I've done yet, and part of it's because there's not really a budget with it, so we were able to use the good material that I always want to use, but most people don't have the money for. So it's just like, I know a lot of you guys won't really care, but just the quality is amazing, and it welds so much better, and I'm very, very stoked on it. So still have to do some modifying today, which is what I'm going to try and film some of. I got to modify the compressor housing to fit this guy. So you can see I got to chop this up. I got it marked already, and then that's going to shoot us straight into the intake up there. And then to go from coupler to coupler, we're doing a titanium piece, which is what this piece is for. This is a titanium blow-off valve flange for this Turbo Smart one that we have here. And then after that, this is the radiator for now. It's got an air-to-water intercooler setup up there. Just temporary because we're on a time constraint like I had mentioned. So next rendition, this is just going to be version 1. Probably going to have to end up putting the radiator in the trunk, like, you know, Formula Drift style rear mount. I don't know how to do that, so I have a lot of reading up to. I already read a bit on it, and I have an idea on how I want to do it, but again, time right now. Not even money, it's just time. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at today. Today I'm just, I'm sorry, to go with that last statement, radiator, and then I'm mounting a little oil cooler here, and then a transmission cooler is going in front of this. I'm just going to Rivnut it to the bash bar because we're out of space. So yeah, hopefully this car will get kicked out tomorrow. Today's Wednesday, tomorrow will be Thursday, so depending on how today goes, depending on how long this job takes, I'm about to take in here in a second. And then, yeah, that'll be nice because, you know, your boy definitely needs to get paid because I need to eat. And so, thankfully, I know this guy's good for it. Once this battery shows up for this thing, then I can finish that guy. So, yeah, got a lot of work to do. And, yeah, let's get to it. Finished up the aluminum just now, and it's looking pretty tasty, if I do say so myself. So, got the, you know, elbow modified here. We're looking pretty good there. That's like straight in line with the throttle body there. So Marco is bringing the couplers. We're doing a 3 to 4 inch and then a 4 to 4 1/4 for this, and then a little bit of titanium in the middle like I had mentioned. So modified the water pump housing. This was a pain just to get back here with the weld because the torch didn't really want to fit, but yeah, so we got the 90 into the filler neck, into a -20 AN fitting right here, and a straight shot for some hose. Obviously very short hose, but you know, a cool hose nonetheless. So this is just looking really stinking cool up here. Like, look at that, so much stainless. I'm waiting on some new stainless badges to show up, and then I'm gonna put one right there. And then for the blow-off valve area titanium piece, I'm gonna anodize it with my logo in it. And then, yeah, they're gonna powder coat the compressor housing. It's gonna look so stinking cool. But I don't want to bore you guys too much with that. We'll save, you know, I'll show you guys what the rest of it looks like in the end of, or in part of the next video, because I got some stuff to do. I got to get finished up for the day, because he's on his way right now with the rest of the parts. And honestly, I'm just tired, so I don't want to drag this video out too much longer. Hopefully you did enjoy it, and be sure to look out for more Integra content, hopefully soon. I'm trying to get back into it. It's just, like I said, that car is hard for me to find interest in. But if you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to let me know in the comments down below. If you're new to the channel, hopefully by now you've considered subscribing. Please, by all means, if you want to scoop a Velocity Racefab t-shirt, they are on the website, velocityracefab.com. And if you Del Sol guys, I know you're bugging me about those roof braces. I said I was done, but you guys are really demanding these things. So look out in the next few weeks to pre-orders once I get caught up on work here at the shop. So do what you love, forget about the rest. Thanks for spending some time out of your day with me. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.